Hello, dreamers, doers, believers, and achievers. I'm Dwayne Shigg, and this is the Encouragement Conversation, the place to talk about your passions, products, and possibilities. And we are in for a fabulous show. Excuse me, being a man, I'm not good at multitasking like most women, but I've got. I know some people want to say that sounds sexist, but it's still true. It's still true. So
Yeah.
I didn't think I was going to get any objections from you. But we have a great show. We have guests with us, Pastor Shanae Johnson-Allen, and then joining us later is Mr. Leroy McKenzie. These people are fabulous people, and as I said in my promotion, if you've got a dream to do, a goal to get some success to seize, they can help you. And so I am grateful. My grandfather says people don't have to be nice, and so when they are, you ought to say thank you. So
Yes.
Alan, I'll be saying thank you about 4 or 5 times before the night's over. And so
My pleasure.
I want to say thank you. Real quickly, before we jump into our conversation, give us a quick intro, who you are, what you do, so that people will know. We have people watching from Fontana to France and Inglewood to England, so let them know who you are.
All right. Well, hello, everyone around the globe. I am very honored to have this moment to share with Dr. Shigg. So thank you for the
Okay.
invitation and the open door. I am Shanae Johnson-Allen. For those who don't know me, I'm gonna give you a quick intro, really quick. I am
Okay.
a wife, a mom, entrepreneur. I am clergy. I am a business operator. I help in the business realm other small businesses get government contracts. I help them set up their foundational base for their business. I also support new startups in their administrative and back office. As the role of clergy, I am an associate pastor at the Word Center, Norwalk, California. Shout out to my senior pastors, Henry and Alicia PJ.
All right.
A mom, I have 5 beautiful daughters, 10 grandchildren that I am nanny to, and I
Okay.
have been married now going on 11 years.
All right.
Yeah.
7 years. Oh, that is amazing. That is amazing. And so, again, I appreciate you being with us on the show and thanking you for taking out the time to, because with all the stuff that you just said, I know you have a lot of stuff to do.
Well, yeah, you know how we have to multitask, and
Right.
especially me being, as God has orchestrated it, so us women seem to be very gifted in that multitasking aspect. So it's just making sure you have a healthy balance so that I
Right.
know when to take off my clergy hat and put on my wife hat, when to take that hat off and be daughter, mom, sister girl, business owner, just keep switching hats.
Right, right, right. And as I said, we are grateful to have you as well as young man I've been following on social media doing great things,
Hmm.
Brother Leroy McKenzie Jr. How are
All
you,
right.
sir?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. How is everyone?
I'm doing well. Pastor Shanae Johnson-Allen, our other guest, and this is Brother Leroy McKenzie Jr., Maryland, right? In
Yes,
Baltimore?
sir.
All right.
Baltimore.
All right now, Baltimore in the house.
Why don't you, before we jump into the conversation, give us a quick introduction, who you are, what you do, and we can jump right into this conversation. Because you guys have so much information and help. I want to do my best to get all I can in this 45, 50 minutes because I know being busy people, you got stuff to do. And I know Pastor Allen has a book signing, a virtual book tour this evening. So she's got to go, but we're going to get it in there. So tell us what you do, who you are, sir.
Oh, for me. Well, my name again is Leroy McKenzie Jr. I am the president and CEO of JNF Enterprises, which is a distribution, publishing, and business consulting firm here in Baltimore. What we do is we actually we enlighten and empower and impact individuals and assist them in being able to bring their visions to reality through books and then also through their businesses.
Right, all right. So both of you all are doing great things, dealing with people, visionary people, you know, yourself, but also dealing with visionary people. And I want to ask you a question as we jump into this conversation. People have often asked me, who encourages you, the encourager, staying motivated? You all are teaching people, you all are strengthening people, you are pushing people. So I want to start with Pastor Allen and then go to Brother McKenzie. How do you, Shanae Johnson-Allen, how do you stay motivated and inspired with all that you have to do? And the same thing for you, Leroy.
Well, actually, for me, I make it a practice that every morning before I answer emails, phone calls, text messages, etc., that I actually pray first, even if it's just a moment. And then I have a motivation that I will read or listen to, and that, you know, it kind of feeds me even while I'm getting my coffee together. I have a strict rule, you know, it's Jesus, coffee, and then you. That's how it goes.
I know that's
Without
right.
fail, every day. If you switch that order up, I can't be responsible for the outcome. Jesus, coffee, and then you, whoever you might be, it'll go much better for you.
Okay, so you got your priorities together, I see. Huh?
He said, don't get that order mixed up, right?
Yeah, don't get the order mixed up, right? And then I'm really blessed that I have a corner of sister friends, you know, and family who keep me encouraged. They will just send a random text, I'm thinking of you, or drop off flowers, or, you know, an emoji. And that really helps a lot of times, because as you are pouring into others,
right,
sometimes you can get very low yourself.
Exactly.
Right. And if you're not getting back into you what you poured out, you will be pouring from an empty cup. So I'm super grateful for them, but definitely the Jesus coffee and then others, you know, that's how we do that.
Okay. And Mackenzie, how do you stay motivated, stay inspired?
Well, for me, what I do a couple of different things. One is like Pastor, starting my day with listening to something that's motivational, whether it's through some folks that I get motivated by, whether it's like Les Brown, my pastor, whether it's Eric Thomas, something like that is motivational, to kind of that pours into me. And then I also try to I have a circle of people that I talk with as well, that we try to, you know, to be there for each other. And it's something that Pastor said. I liken it to being, I call it the picture in the glass theory, where you know how you go to a restaurant and you sit and they'll bring that there's glasses at each place setting,
right,
and then they'll bring a big pitcher of water, lemonade, soda, whatever it is that they bring, and the pitcher is used to pour into the glasses,
right,
while the glasses get poured into. Sometimes we're the pitcher and we pour into, and sometimes we have to be the glass that gets poured into.
Oh,
I like that.
So each morning I try to find myself of being a glass to get poured into, so that then I can become the pitcher to pour into others.
Oh, that is wonderful. That is great. There are people watching that want to write a book, want to lose 10 pounds. As I said, some people trying to make it to the top. Some people just trying to make it to Tuesday, and you know, doing different things. And if you're trying to do anything on this, what John Maxwell calls a success journey, you're going to have some bumps and bruises. What keeps them from starting? The fear. Most people say the fear of failure. I want to ask you, your first experience with failure on a project or whatever the case may be, what was your response and what did you learn from it? For Leroy, then Pastor Allen, your very first, or one of the, you know, time that you can remember failing, falling, the project didn't go well. What was your response and what did you learn from it?
Well, I'll use an example of when I was in corporate America, and I got fired from my first job. Didn't lose it, got fired, and it wasn't anything that I necessarily did wrong, But when you are of a different hue, I'll put it like this: sometimes they don't like the one that is intelligent. They don't like the one that brings their understands their expertise and knows what they're talking about and doing, and is not afraid to say it.
Really,
So,
in America, they have a problem with that?
I know, right? Yeah, figure that, right? But in losing that job, it hurt me to the core. It hurt me because it was the first time that I'd experienced that.
Right.
Where you're used to being, you understand who you are. You've gotten all of the schooling and all of these things that they tell you that you're supposed to do, and everything is going to be perfect, or everything is going to be fine. But when you get into the real world, you find out that that's not always the case, and things don't always turn out the way that you want them to, and everything like that. So, what I learned from that experience was how resilient I was. And that experience wasn't going to break me. And I'm a poet, and I write poetry, but one of the things that came out of that was a poem that I wrote, "You Will Not Break Me."
Ooh. Okay.
And it had to do with experiencing certain things, one being a Black man, but then going through those certain things that we kind of experience through life, and those failures that we go through and everything like that. So that's what it taught me was the resilience that I do have.
Oh, very good, very good. Pastor Shanae.
All right. So for me, I was working for LA Unified as an instructor, and it was right around that time, if you all recall, a few years back, they had those big budget cuts, and I received a nice pink notice on my desk. And this was after I had asked and inquired, and I was told, "Oh no, that won't affect us," and so forth and so on. And yeah, it affected us. So it was also the time where I was going through some health challenges.
Okay.
Right. And I had gotten really comfortable in the position. I wasn't being challenged. I was just going through the everyday mundane, knowing what I needed to do. But I liked the check. Right. I enjoyed what I was doing. I was good at it, and I liked the check, but it really wasn't challenging me. It wasn't stretching me. And I really know that it was God allowing me to be moved. Sometimes you're in a nest and you get really comfortable. Right. And I'm reminded of the story, of the eagle and the eaglets.
Right.
That they start breaking down that nest and push them out so that you don't get comfortable. You have to learn to soar. So in that opportunity, both financially, there was a shift for me. There was a questioning of what am I going to do now? Yeah. I was responsible for my household at that time, being a single mom, and had bills, nothing else stopped.
Right.
And at that point, then I learned the art of actually checking my account balance before making a purchase. That had been a foreign thing to me. I mean, I really liked my check then.
Right.
It was an adjustment for my kids as
it's
well.
Not like my wife.
Right, it was an adjustment both for the monetary and for my health. They were really highly concerned about me and what was going on with me. But what I learned is that I can bounce back. I learned to reinvent me. So after I got my health and things together, and I recall just making a list. What do you know how to do? What can you do like right now? I was interviewing and all of that. And, that's a process, but I needed right now resources. And my grandmother, my paternal grandmother, she was a stickler for cleaning, like baseboards and the blades on the fans and the blinds. And she would go with her finger across the top ledge of the doorway. That's how serious it was. So what I did was I took those skills that she had instilled in me, and I reinvented myself. I started doing housekeeping. All right. Most people would have said, oh, that's beneath you, that's below you, but it actually was a great learning experience for me. I was able to connect with some great people. I was able to sustain financially. And out of that was birthed a family maintenance service, Johnson Family Maintenance Service, where we have residential and even now commercial cleaning accounts. So it's about that bounce back. It's about reinventing yourself. It's about realizing that, as you were saying, it's not going to break me, right? I may have to buckle a little bit. I may have to bend, but I will not be shattered. I will not be broken, because there's always a bounce back if you really focus on it.
I like that. I like that. Want to ask you, you just talked about, Pastor Shanae, you talked about, okay, you had to do what you had to do. And sometimes, I'm quite sure each of you get this. I get it mostly from people who want to write a book. I want to write a book, but I don't know where to start, or working on their dream, where to start. Can you take a couple of moments and help somebody to start? And I know the answer, but sometimes people who are stuck, they're stuck, but they don't know how to start. So from your experiences personally, or helping other people, because Pastor Shanae, you do that a lot, help somebody, our viewers, to, they want to start. So, okay, help them start on their dream, on their journey, on the goal, or whatever it is.
Okay, so for me, the first thing I would say is write the vision. I know we quote that for those of us that are spiritual, but I mean, really live by that. Write the vision. Write what it is you want to see for your life, because you cannot manifest it if you are not clear as to what it should look like. If it's a healthy marriage, what does that look like for you? Because what it looks like for you may be totally different than what it looks like for your spouse. And if it is totally different and you're both in this journey together, it's going to create a lot of conflict. It needs to look, in general, somewhat similar for both of you to go that path. So write what you want it to be. Also write the things that you are skilled in doing, whether it's book knowledge, whether it's hands-on, whether you just have a knack. If you're wondering, what am I good at? Listen to other people. Oftentimes other people will tell you, girl, that was the best banana pudding I have ever had, right? Or they'll say, you know what, you are just a constant encourager. And maybe you never saw yourself in that light before, but start thinking about, you know what, people always call me for advice and counseling and prayer, and others are always asking me how to do this, that, and the other. Then I would give the advice to understand that getting started is much better than being stuck. And oftentimes the reason why we don't get started is we're waiting for it to get perfect.
Speak that.
There is no perfect marriage. So if you're waiting on that, you're going to be single. There is no perfect house. Every house requires some work. It didn't just become this magnificent wonder. Somebody had to paint. Somebody has to clean. Somebody has to pay the mortgage. Somebody has to keep the lights on. Somebody, has to do those things. It doesn't just happen. So oftentimes we're looking for perfect.
Right.
We need to just let's get started. Let's get moving.
I like that. I like that. I like that. I want to ask you, Mackenzie, I don't know, some people when they start and they're working on whatever it is, how did you know, and helping other people, how do you move from it being a hobby to this is what I'm doing, if that makes sense? Sometimes it's something on the side. Well, it's not on the side, it's the forefront, it's the main thing. So how did you know, or what did you do to move it from that, and how would you help somebody move it from a hobby to the main thing? Can you give me maybe one or two factors to be able to do that?
Well, here's the thing that I tell people when we talk about a hobby versus a gift, or something that you want to take into something that you're doing, build it into a business, build it into something else. When that product or service or whatever it is that you're doing becomes so serious to you you understand that it is something that you are passionate about.
Right.
It's something that you want to what's the word I'm looking, that you understand. You want it to go from just being something that you do to something that you kind of live, or that you are, because you're so consumed by it that it becomes what your focus is. And the only way that I can explain it is, a hobby is something that you can toss to the side anytime. It's something that I do when I feel like it.
Right.
But something that you're passionate about, something that's deep inside of you. Not only can you do you take it seriously, but it's something that that becomes, I don't say consuming, but it's something that it becomes a part of who you are.
Yeah.
It becomes a part of who you are. And I'll just give you an example of me personally. I took on the term the impact chaser. And I say that to myself because I found myself chasing what impacts people. So it became something that I just didn't, I don't take that lightly. I don't take it casually. That's not something that I'm just a hobby, or I can't say that and it just be a hobby to me.
Right.
Because I'm constantly chasing this thing that I want to improve upon, because I tell people this: when you chase the impact, you change the world. There's not one person who has changed this world, who has had a significant impact on this world, that has not, say it that way, someone who has not significantly changed this world, that has not been somebody who has wanted to be impactful in some kind of way.
Right.
Not one. If you can name one, let me know, because I haven't seen him or her. Because to me, being impactful is being intentional. So a hobby is not being an intentional. It's something that okay, I do it because I enjoy doing it, but if something else comes along, I can put it to the side and move on. But when you're serious about something, like Pastor said, you got a vision for it, you see it, it becomes something that you move towards. So that's what I would say.
I like that. One of the things that we focus on with regularity here, we talk to people about their, as I said, passion, products, and possibilities, but helping people move on, helping people, watch this shameless plug right here, helping people move forward. That's the name of my latest book. Helping people move forward. And I want to ask you, the most recent project that you are working on, that you have worked on, can you tell me one of the significant hurdles and how you overcame it? Pastor Shanae? And sometimes people think a problem stops them, but I want them to see people that they're not, the people watching, they're not the only person, with the problem. They couldn't find a venue, or a book didn't sell, or whatever. But the most recent project, what was one most significant hurdle, and how did you get over it?
Okay, so I'm gonna do another shameless plug.
Go right ahead.
So I had wanted to author my first book years ago. I mean, maybe 10 years ago. And I had put it off. And then I had started writing. And I was writing, but I never did anything with it. I put it away and I said, oh, I got to do this. I got to do that. and I got in my own head. So 30 days ago, this is my shameless plug, Free to Love, which is the book that we're launching tonight.
All right.
30 days ago,
awesome.
I decided I'm going to take what's in my head and actually manifest it into my hand.
Okay.
Right? And so one of the biggest hurdles that I had was, a lot of people know me as Pastor Shanae Clergy. They know me as a wife, an entrepreneur, and all of that. But there's also that creative side
Right.
right? There's that creative side that shatters glass ceilings, that just pushes the envelope. And this writing is exactly that. So one of those hurdles was in my own head, and I literally talked to my corner and was like, oh, people are not going to accept it. They're not going to receive it because they want to keep me in the box. Oh, is it a preacher book? You know, is it a devotional? Is it a journal? No, it's not any of that. Is it about marriage and how-tos? No, it's not any of that. I'm certified and I do training in time management.
Okay.
And they were, oh, is it the time management manual I've been waiting on? I said, no, that's coming later. And they were like, well, what is this? We don't understand. So I literally debated just back and forth whether I was going to really publish the book. But I decided, especially recently with the COVID-19 and the quarantines and so much hurt and pain, not to put off anymore the things that my heart wants to do, just based on whether it would be accepted or whether someone else will receive it or whether or not. This is something I want to do. It's a passion of mine. It's a love of mine. It's something I want to release. I'm going to just do it. If I, put it out there and no one likes it, that's okay too. But I'd rather do that than to keep waiting and saying I'm gonna based on me being up in my head about what it's not, and go forward in it. So that was my biggest hurdle, all those years of not doing it. And then in the last 30 days, I actually took it from my head on paper, got it edited, got it published, printed, distributed, sold, and now we're doing even our official launch today. But I just had to get expectations of other people.
So the hurdle, but overcoming it, breaking out of the box, and just going on and doing it anyway. So just, okay, jumping in the water anyway. Very good, very good, very good. But Leroy, hurdle, most recent project, and how did you overcome it?
Well, my most recent project had to do with one of the products that I have, which is an entrepreneur kit, and it's a kit that I put together and had been wanting to do for those aspiring entrepreneurs and even entrepreneurs that have their businesses, to be able to give to them so that they wouldn't have to go through some of the things that I had to do, the bumping your head against the wall type of thing. Right. So I put together those things that I wanted that I needed to have when I was starting my business that I didn't necessarily have.
Right.
And it was a thing where there's so many books out here and things out here that prepare us for how to start a business, how to grow a business, and all of those things. Mm. But there's nothing that shows you once you get the doors open, how do you keep the doors open? Mm. So I wanted to be able to bring that out. And my apprehension was bringing all of these different pieces together. Mm-hmm. And you kind of hesitant. Well, I know with me, I was hesitant, or my hurdle was getting over understanding the value of it. Mm. And saying, okay, yes, it is worth this much, and not being hesitant about asking for that.
There you go.
And understanding, look, this is, you say that you want this, as far as being able to have a business, preparing yourself to have a business, and understanding the knowledge, the resources, and the information that I was providing, and it had that value to it. So that was the hurdle for me, getting over the understanding the value of it and not being hesitant about saying it's worth this.
Right.
And it's going to give you that. How did I overcome it? Couple different ways. One was me just sitting back and looking at kind of observing some of my other friends that I knew that had businesses and running it by them. And one of my business associates, he told me, he said, you have to understand. He said, you can't be afraid to understand what the value is that you're bringing to the table, and don't be ashamed to ask for that value. He said, because if you're afraid to ask for that value, he said, people won't value it.
Yeah.
So that was the helping me get over that hurdle were the couple of people that I had in my what I call my circle of impact. And
that's very
and they were able to, you know, to tell me, no, you got something here, and don't be afraid to place that value on it.
Oh, I like that. I like that. I probably need to talk to you because that's one of the hurdles that I've had. I still have a little bit because I come from ministry, preaching, pastoring, and then making that transition. Have a hard time asking for money. So you know, that because if you know, my pastor Bishop Irvin, he says that givers have to set a limit because takers never will.
I like that. I like that.
Takers never will. And so, you know, getting past all of that, and I like that. Let me take 30 seconds for this commercial break right here. If you like fresh alkaline water, I'm drinking some right now. A company called Mongoose Alkaline Water. You can get some, and also not only keeps you hydrated, but a portion of it goes to help the ABC Youth Foundation. And little nepotism, my brother is the CEO, and my brother owns this company, so I probably shouldn't have said that, but the water's still good. So if you want to be of help to your health, but also to ABC Youth Foundation, you can contact them about getting some water. You can contact them at 19mongoose57@gmail.com. 19mongoose, MONGOOSE, mongoose drinking water 57@gmail.com. As I said, part of the proceeds go to help the ABC Youth Foundation. And if you have a product, service, business that you want the world to know about, consider being a sponsor of the Encouragement Conversation. I guarantee you, we have a package that will fit your pocket. Contact us at drshigg@gmail.com. That's drshigg@gmail.com. I want to give you all an opportunity to talk about what you're doing now. I know you're writing the book. I know, Pastor Shanae, how was that experience? How was that experience? And then for the Leroy, your project that you're doing now, whatever the latest project is. And then near the end, I'm going to give you a chance to shout out and give all your information so people can talk to you, can contact you. But, you know, going through and working on a different project, sometimes you have certain emotions and stuff like that. So writing the first book, what was that like?
Going through that first book was a great learning process. Even after I had done reading about it and research about it and committed to it, there were still a lot of things that I was getting along the way. I have a great mentor and coach. So shout out to Pastor Monica Haskell. She's actually in Delaware. So she helped, you know, cultivate that. But again, for me, it was sitting down, committing the time. And not only was I doing this book, 2 other projects simultaneously because I was birthing them out, right? Birthing them out.
Right.
For me, it was really just trying to get others to, as you say, you know, you make that transition from ministry and just, like you said, asking for money.
Right.
And that is still a challenge, putting myself out there, because I've always just felt like, okay, that would be taken as me being arrogant. As you can see, even behind me right now, this visual that's on my wall, this is my vision staying before me every day. Some people may see it and say, why do you have that humongous picture of yourself and a highway and byways and tall buildings? Because I've got to keep it ever before me while I'm working, while I'm consulting, while I'm paying bills, while I'm navigating the next step. And even while I was writing this book, that the Word of God promises that He is going to make my name great. He's going to make me a blessing so that I can be a blessing.
Exactly.
But then that being a blessing, that doesn't always mean everything has to be free. So making that transition, putting myself out there so that I can help make the kingdom of God greater, right? Not in arrogance, but in humility to serve us. And God has given us these gifts. We want to utilize them and we want them to reach to the masses. So that has been my focus. That has been what I'm doing and just staying committed to it.
Leroy, what are you working on now? And give us the journey, or give us the what like her experience with writing the book. And so, what is it teaching you right now? What are you getting from it? Whatever your most recent project is, let us know.
Well, yeah, well, the recent project, or the project that I'm working on now, is actually it's a compilation book that I'm working on with 10 other authors.
Mhm.
And this is my first time being a part of something like that. So it's teaching me the dynamics of being able to just, because each of us had a chapter. So it's when you're singularly focused on one chapter as opposed to a full book.
Right.
That's a different dynamic for me for the first time. But and that's a good thing. But also what I'm learning from this too is what comes with being a part of a group of people that come together for a common mission
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
and a common purpose. And the book is on leadership. It's called Next Level Leader. Next Level Leader. Yeah, Next Level Leaders. And it's focused on leadership from different perspectives,
Mm,
and different dynamics from the Bible, because it's each chapter is scripture based.
good.
So each of us had to focus on a different aspect of a scripture,
I like this.
and what it meant and everything. So um, that's been something different for me, because everything else has been me. It's been
Okay,
Mm,
me
I got
writing
you.
it,
I got you.
me doing everything about it. So
Right. I want to ask both of you. First, you, Brother McKenzie, and then Pastor Shanae. I want to get this in before we have to go, because this is something a lot of people deal with, and I had to deal with it. In all the things that I'm doing. Support.
mm,
mm,
How have you handled not getting the support that you thought you should get? From certain people, or because that's always a question. We expected, all my frat brothers, all my church members, all my
yeah.
cousins, all my,
Come on,
to
right.
come to the conference, to come to buy the book, and so I want to ask each of you, from your own experience or whatever, help somebody understand, to navigate through that not getting all the support that you thought you should have. Brother McKenzie and then Pastor Shanae, because that's a
well,
serious issue.
I'll say this. It's okay to be disappointed in it, because you're going to have family, you're going to have friends, you're going to have those, you said church friends that you are involved with that don't necessarily support what it is that your vision. And I tell people this: it's not their vision, it's yours.
Right.
Ah,
So so don't expect them. Now if they do, that's cool, but don't expect them to have to. I'll give you a personal example. My best friend, we've been friends since college. She and I have been friends. I mean, ride or die, been there for me, would do anything for me. But we have two different mindsets when it comes to doing things. Now, I felt that she should be more supportive in the my entrepreneurship journey, and saying, "Hey, you see him, I'm doing this, and I wanted to get the pat on the back. Oh, you doing this, that, the other." Didn't get it from her. But here's what she did though in supporting me. If there were things that I needed, you know, hey, what you need? I got that for you. Or I'll get this for you. Those kind of things. It wasn't necessarily, oh, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna buy this or buy that from you. But it's, hey, do you need something outside of that I can do for you, that I can take care for you?
okay, okay,
You know. and that kind of thing. And so we can be disappointed somewhat, but don't hang your hat on the expectation of people supporting you.
Okay. I should have talked to you. I should have talked to you a few years ago. Pastor Shanae, help us out.
He could
Help
have
us out.
saved you a whole lot of stress, huh?
Yeah, a lot of what my friend, the late Pastor Stephen C. West, would call intense fellowship with my wife, conversations.
Woo!
Okay.
Wow. And that's a tough one too when when that spouse isn't supportive and you're on two different thinking frames.
Ah, very good. Very good. Pastor Shanae, help us with the support issue.
Well, I'm still in that process. So I'm still on the altar.
So we all are.
I'm on the altar, okay?
Okay.
I don't get as hurt in my heart from it anymore because I realize that there are some people who can't give you what you give.
Oh,
so don't expect
Wait a minute. That's a Selah moment. Oh my goodness. Let me, I gotta go get my wallet. I gotta give you an offering for that one.
Cash App is $.
Cash App it, okay. Go ahead and finish. I'm sorry. That's good. Go on and finish. I'm sorry. Continue. Can't hear you.
Yeah. I think I don't know. I don't think she muted herself. Yeah, we can't hear you.
Can't hear you.
Did you hit a button or something?
If you hit something by mistake.
Or your mic?
There we go.
There you go.
Okay.
I need to hear this. The support is.
But just, don't expect you from other people. Okay? Don't expect you from other people. Right? But at the same time, when I said I'm still on the altar, I'm also at the same thing where I'm not going to help you operate in a spirit of being just a taker.
Okay.
I believe we are helpers one to the other. So if I need to have a conversation with you and say, hey, sis, hey, bro, you know what I noticed? Because I want to help you.
Right. You want to help me get over that, huh?
We had a potluck for 6 months. You didn't bring anything to the potluck, not a soda, not a roll. You didn't bring anything. But you ate and ate twice. And
Come
for
on
you
now.
and all 6 of your family, listen, I don't want to be a hindrance. Listen, I want everything that God has for you to be bestowed upon you. And so what I understand about scripture is if you sow sparingly, you sow reap sparingly. So now you want to sow sparingly at the potluck, no problem. You, sweetheart, get the salad. Don't pick up a rib. Don't pick up anything. You don't get a takeout. No. I'm going to help you operate in the spirit of a giver and not
doing it for me. You helping me out.
I'm going to help you. Because I want to be a help. Yeah.
Right.
I want to be a help.
I love it. I know you guys got to go, but I want to ask you, tell me what you got going, promote whatever you want to promote, and tell the people how to get in touch with you. We're going to go with Brother Leroy and then Pastor Shanae. Let the people know what you have going on and how they can support it and how they can buy it. And another thing, help people. Well, I just want to say support is more than just liking my book on social media.
Yeah.
I know you like it, but you like it enough to buy it?
Right.
So let me stay away from that. That's another show. But
no, that's real right there. Because people do have to understand that it's nice to get the likes, it's nice to get the comments and everything like that, but a genuine way that people can appreciate the intellectual capital that we share with others is by pouring into them, by supporting, even if it's not for you, it may be for someone else that could use this. Hey, I got I saw this, this book, or I saw this, this product or service or whatever that I thought that you could use, and I want to bless you with it.
Right.
That's the biggest way that someone could show you want to put a smile on my face. That will do it right there. They say, no, I don't necessarily need it, but I know someone who does.
Yeah.
Promote your latest project and tell people how they can get in touch with you, Brother Leroy.
Well, like I said, my latest project is the next level, and the launch for that will actually be next Friday and Saturday at the National Christian Writers Conference, which is going to be virtual. It's going to be a virtual conference Friday and Saturday next week, and it's going to be a host of. I'm one of the presenters at the event. You can actually, if you go to my page, you'll see I'll have the link there and everything like that, where you can register for the for the conference. It's going to be just 2 full days. I believe Friday they're having it's a women's conference, and that's from like 6:30 to 9:30. And then Saturday is going to be all day workshops and workshops and a couple of panel discussions that they're going to be having. But it's the National Christian Writers Conference that's going to be virtually. And like I said, I'll send you the link so that you can have that if anyone asks you for that. And we're going to be talking about writing. We're going to be talking about leadership. We're going to be talking about different things. The thing is, the conference is actually for aspiring writers as well as those already that may be authors as well, to kind of hone your skills, to kind of be able to understand. You need like I said, the time to be a pitcher. You can be a pitcher or a glass. I'm sorry, be a glass and get poured where you can get poured into. And we can all do those kinds of things. So
how can people get in touch with you? If somebody wants to get in touch with you for that,
sure, absolutely.
Some of your other products, how can they get in touch with you?
Sure. My website is www.jnfenterprises.com, and that's J as in Jesus, N as in never, F as in fail. That's JNF, Jesus Never Fails, Enterprises. That's what that stands for. JNFenterprises.com. I'm on Facebook. You can under my name, Leroy McKenzie Jr. or JNF Enterprises. Instagram, YouTube, JNF Enterprises, under all of those.
Very good, very good. Pastor Shanae, we know what you're working on, but tell us again how people can get it, how people can support, real support.
Yeah, real support is appreciated. Like I said, our book, Free to Love, we do the launch today. You can find us on all the social media platforms, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, under Shanae Johnson-Allen. You can find us on the website at theallenproject.com, theallenproject.com. We're making the book orders really simple. They can cash app $SJA100 or paypal.me/SJA100. And books are actually, new orders are going out this weekend. We're just working to be a servant. You can reach out to us on our website. You need business services, let us know. Mentorship, let us know, and we will be there to serve.
So they can get all that information about all your other services on those platforms you just mentioned.
That is correct.
Correct. Very good. I want to say thank you so much. As I told you earlier, my grandfather says people don't have to be nice, and so when they are, you ought to say thank you. So I'm saying thank you so much because I greatly appreciate it. You guys did such a great job. It makes me look like I actually know what I'm doing. And so,
you do.
You do know what you're doing.
I appreciate it. And to our viewers, you've gotten some great information of how to overcome hurdles, how to deal with support or the lack thereof. And so I need you to just touch bases with these people, because they can help you with your writing. They can help you with your goal. They can help you go where you're trying to go. And so you can look them up on those various platforms, because they can make a difference in your life. And I want to let you know that your dream is doable. You can make it. And we talked about hurdles, and just because you've had a loss doesn't mean that you have lost. So you need to remember that and understand that the dream is doable. So you need to go get it. You can contact me. You can follow me on Instagram at encourageMan, the letter N, encourageMan, Facebook, Your Encouragement, MINT, or my name, Dwayne Shigg. On YouTube, you can watch some of our other videos on YouTube under my name, Dwayne Shigg. You won't get confused because there's no other Dwayne Shigg on YouTube. You won't get confused. And so follow us, follow these people, and you can be strengthened, you can be helped. And as always, I want you to stay encouraged and remember that your dream is doable. So go get it. Thank you so much. You all be blessed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.